Hi, let's take a look at Marvel 2-in-1 number 9. It's Marvel 2-in-1 presents The Thing and the Mighty Thor, and they battle the Puppet Master. Now you might think that's a weird thing for Thor to battle, but Puppet Master's power is that he has radioactive clay, that he can create dolls of people he doesn't like out of them, and then control them, even the mighty Thunder God Thor. This one's cool because the Fantastic Four is in it as well. Alright. Here are the credits. Here's Chris Claremont is the scripter. Steve Gerber is the plotter. Herb Trimpe is the artist. Joe Gala is the inker. And Janice C. colorist, and Jetter is letterer, and Len Wein is the editor. And Stan Lee, of course, presents The Thing and the Mighty Thor together. I don't know what he did in this comic, he just presents it. So, when God goes mad. So here's Thing, and the Fantastic Four and everyone. They're fighting Doctor Doom. This was released in 1975, but not really, because here are a bunch of puppets and everything, and people love this. It's a stage show, and here's this dude. It's obviously Puppet Master with a wig. Everyone else doesn't seem to see this except for The Thing. They all took Wundarr out to see this show. Wundarr is a character he's a child and a grown man's super powerful superhuman body. Anyways, after the show, all these kids crowd around The Thing, and he's like, oh, well, we can't do anything with these kids, right? He's not gonna, clobber them or anything. And, Puppet Master's like, scream my brutish, thing. Yes, scream as loud as you can, for soon you will be screaming in earnest, in deadly earnest. Dun dun dun. Wundarr keeps calling Thing Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben sound mad. Why? Why, Uncle Ben? Shut up. That's the real Thing here. Tough and gruff. Here's a Mego commercial coming soon from Mego. This is 1975. 4 great new Marvel characters. The Lizard. The Green Goblin. The Falcon. And Hulk. Fully posable 8-inch action figures. They were doing DC and stuff, but they're getting into Marvel as well. Pretty cool. Here Thing is in tatters. And they're gonna climb into the Fantastic Car and fly off. And Thor is on his own mission. And here are these small little ads that they put at the bottom of some of these of these pages. The most important Spidey saga of all. Don't miss the remarkable return of who? Thing is a Sunday driver and all that. Thor was getting in their way. But Thor's got his own little mission here. And here is the Puppet Master with a mystery guy. So he reveals that he's the Puppet Master, of course, because he is. No one has that face, right? So, he has a Thor puppet, so he's going to use Thor, to do what he wants. And here's an ad for Werewolf by Night. Jack Russell must battle his own sister, the Sister of Hell. So, he's, observing his nice little accurate Thor figure here. Now, it's important to note that he has control of Thor, but he doesn't have control of Don Blake, right? So, Thor attacks the Fantastic Four. Alright, so Thor fights Reed Richards, who's trying to protect Sue, and Thor uses his hammer against Reed, and of course that doesn't work out well. Johnny Storm has his red outfit here, and he flames on and fights Thor with his cockiness. Here you have the Mad Thinker versus MODOK, and Iron Man is trapped in the middle. Thor will even kill Sue. He's like, now woman, you must die. And he's about to, so she puts up her shield, and it thwarts the hammer, but it's way too much strain. I mean, this is a god she's dealing with, right? So, look, Sue is powerful. She is. The thing is, I mean, you could look at this and say, well, that writer was back into a corner. They had to have this confrontation. But she, passes out, and Thor realizes what he's doing, And so he turns into Don Blake, and he tends to them as a doctor. And so the puppet master is like, he's gone. I can't pick him up anymore. Perhaps your control puppet needs a stronger radiation charge. Like, perhaps, but I doubt it. It's as though Thor had suddenly ceased to exist. So the Fantastic Car is returning to the Baxter building, and of course Thing is in there. And Wundarr. Everyone counts out Wundarr. I don't think Puppet Master has a Wundarr figure there. So Don Blake is like, don't be alarmed by the damage. Looks like a lot worse than it really is. Do tell, you're that Blake guy. So they know who Blake is, but they don't know that he's Thor. And he's like, Donald Blake, MD, to my friends. And yes, they're all right. These characters here are Namorita and her roommate, who's the one with the brunette with the glasses, and of course Wundarr. And so Don Blake assesses everyone and says, like, everyone's going to be okay. Bruises, lacerations, mostly they're just banged up and stunned. And so Thing is like, oh, like Puppet Master, sinking low and fighting my friends. He's like, Puppet Master, Ben, Thor did this. And Thing's like, you're kidding me. Now, Thing should know, like, if Puppet Master is involved, then it's probably the Puppet Master's doing, right? Here's the letters page of the time. Here's the subscribe page. All these great Marvel titles to subscribe to. Count Dante. Remember this guy? This graphic adorned comics of the Bronze Age for a while, and when I was picking up, back issues and stuff, I'd always see this guy, Deadliest Man Alive. I can't really look him up. I don't know what happened to this guy. Alright, so Don Blake becomes Thor again, and if the villain dares attack again, he shall find the son of Odin ready and waiting for him. And so this guy reveals himself. Give me the doll, Puppet Master. That Thor will be the first to fall beneath the power of Radion, the Atomic Man. So, here's an ad for Shang-Chi must face a contest of truth in Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, number 9. Yeah, these little ads they shoved at the bottom are a lot of fun. It's just text, it's like of what's going on in the Marvel Universe at the time. So, he's like, feel my power, Thor, my will is your will, my thoughts are your thoughts, you're mine, Thunder God, mine. So Thor is now falling under the power again, and fights Thing. And so here, now it's Thor versus Thing. Thing punches Thor into a wall, and beats the living crap out of him. Thor throws his hammer at Thing, and Thing's impact smashes a truck. And then they're fighting at it. There's another commercial, the most controversial Man-Thing story of all. A book burns in Citrusville. So Thor's like, I don't get it. Thor's the god of thunder. He could take me easy, but I'm facing him down. No sweat, like he really didn't want to fight me. And his voice, his eyes, I see, Thing, you just made an observation about the Puppet Master. Obviously that's what's going on here. Stupid. So here's the Puppet Master. He's like, well, look what we have here. Alive and quite well. So they thought Puppet Master was dead, but he's not. And he's like, with Radion's power added to mine, Grim, I can control anyone with any puppets. Here's the Bullpen, Bulletins, and Stan's Soapbox. He's talking about the origin of Marvel Comics book that he put out. And Spidey's Electric Company appearances at the time. So that was the first live-action Spider-Man. He didn't speak. And he was played by a dancer. I can't remember the first name. I think the last name was Seagrin. And yeah, that was a big deal. Rumor has it that you know, because the Children's Television Workshop was so popular after Sesame Street, and it seemed like a good thing to do to help them out. Stan Lee supposedly, you know, lent the rights to Spider-Man to the Children's Television Workshop for $1. I don't know how true that is, but it's a cool story. And here's a Spider-Man commercial for Hostess cakes. Spider-Man's fighting these guys. Sometimes they would have the real villains from the comics, but usually it's just like, you know, losers and stuff. And here's it's Hostess fruit pies. Wow, apple, cherry, blueberry, my taste buds are panting. That's funny. And Puppet Master is I think he's taking too much power from Radion, and then Thing and Thor are like, you know, they're not in his power anymore. But it's Wundarr who is upset here, because he has the mind of a child, and he's like, Uncle Benji, he knows his Uncle Ben is, well, Uncle Ben, eh? Uncle Benji is in trouble. So he's like, you hurt my Uncle Benji, and then he elbows Puppet Master right into a wall. So he has super strength, so this was a pretty, but he could have killed him. But anyways, I don't think they care what happens to Puppet Master here. Thor is fine now, and he's like, Ben Grimm, though it pains me to leave thee now, having caused so much grievous harm to thee and thine, still must I bid thee farewell. Odin protect you, my friend, until we meet again. So he flies off. And then they know that something's wrong with Thor. Thing is like, whatever's eating at him, kids, has got to be really, really big. The poor galoot. So that's it. And a little block for the next issue. And I hope you had fun going through this with me. If you liked what you saw, please give a like to this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Lots of great comic book stuff on here. So until next time, take care.